course you want to be a champion. Of course you want to be working towards winning titles.
Be happy, but never satisfied.
All right. Welcome to the 2023 Canadian Ultimate Championships. Before we begin, we would like to acknowledge that these championships are taking place on the land of the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Ojibwe Chippewa peoples, the land that is home to the Métis, and most recently the territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, who are direct descendants of the Mississauga of the Credit. We also acknowledge that Brampton resides within Treaty 19 since 1818. All right, and I am Devon Asamoah here at the Canadian University Ultimate Champions here in beautiful Brampton, Ontario, but I am not alone. I am joined by
Chantal Dussault.
Chantal, thank you. Welcome. And can you set the scene to us? How have we gotten here in the championships? Where are we? What's going on?
Yeah, it's so good to be here with you, Devon. What we're doing today is we're Friday of the 3-day tournament. So Friday is the qualifiers day. So teams are all here fighting to have a spot in the top 8 spots for the Canadian Ultimate University Championships. And there's a team from Montreal here today and a team from Kingston. And so Montreal is in blue and Kingston is in yellow. And whoever wins this has a spot in the top 8. And I'm just going to mention this before I hand it back over to you. Because there's a team from Montreal, je vais faire les annonces en français. Autant que possible, du mieux que je peux.
Oui, and pour moi, je parle anglais seulement. So I'll mainly be doing the English play-by-play portion here. And do you know about how the team's days have gone so far?
Yes, so both teams have been having a fantastic day today. They're both hyped. They have both won 1 game each. And so this is why in their pool, whoever wins this game now will be moving on to the top 8 with a chance to be the champions, the number 1 team for university championships.
Yeah, I think they both have wins over the Waterloo women's team today. And we have Queens starting off in the poll. They are in yellow, and UDEM, University de Montréal, Carabin, will be in their signature blues. So just waiting for official start times by the observers before we get this match underway.
Oui, il y a une journée excitante aujourd'hui pour l'Université de Montréal et l'Université de Queens de Kingston. Voilà, on entend le klaxon qui nous dit que c'est le début du match. Queens fait le lancer d'envoi. On a numéro 22 de l'Université de Montréal, Chiorba, qui ramasse, qui fait des passes en arrière. Lisotte, passe non complétée.
And just a quick turn here from that zone, we have Lee Pai starting off with just throwing an OI flick. Not quite going their way. Turn with UDM back on offense.
83, Mme Campo va prendre le disque. Cherche une façon. Oh, lancer intérieur. Attrapé par Lisotte. Lancer long. Oh, quel attrapé de numéro 74, Fournier. Un lancer long qui est un petit peu trop long pour la receveuse.
Just a little long there to start. You know, both teams are still feeling out the wind. Chantal, you know, in games sometimes it takes a couple throws to get used to everything. What's your strategy to get the feel for the throw, feel for the disc on that day?
Yeah, not only is it the feel for the throw, but also the nerves that have to be shaken off and sort of measuring your opponents here. So it's normal for the first few throws, first few points. I think you just need to get into the game and then everything's going to be working out.
We have Lee Pai with the disc here, just trying to direct traffic, telling her teammates what they want to happen. And we have Crozoli picking up the leftovers there seconds. And Solly with a great rundown for the disc here, looking to probably reset the disc to score. And that is going to be Solly to Purdy, I think, but we'll confirm the numbers after for the first Queen score. And that's a break to start the game. Chantal, tell me the excitement of getting a break in the first point.
Right. Well, both teams, I think, are just getting their feet ready on this field today and getting their hands all steadied up. So I think it's quite exciting to have a break, but it's anybody's game, isn't it, Devon?
Yeah, and it
Devon.
must be so exciting because Queens has gone through a bit of a rebuild, some may say, this year. They have 16 rookies coming into the team this year. So what an influx of not just excitement, but like athleticism, talent to just keep a storied program like Queens alive.
Absolutely, and they were saying that some of those rookies they came from other sports like soccer, for example, and they're very coachable. And so not only are the players very coachable, but they have a strong staff of coaches that we can talk about. They have 4 coaches, including Paul Renaud and Katie and Tess and Sophie. And because there's so many coaches, they do have the time to go around and coach all of these new rookies.
Yeah, and what about UDM? Do you know if UDM just feeds in from their B team at all?
They do. They have a B team. They also get a steady stream of qualified competitive players that are coming from other teams. Alors, ce qu'on dit, c'est que l'équipe de l'Université de Montréal a une équipe A et une équipe B. Puis ici, ce qu'on voit, c'est l'équipe A en bleu. L'équipe A de l'Université de Montréal est composée de joueuses non seulement qui viennent aussi de l'équipe B, mais aussi des joueuses qui viennent d'équipes compétitives. Bon, on va prendre le disque à la marque du brick puisqu'il est sorti durant le lancer d'envoi. Donc, 83, Campo, avec le disque à la marque.
And one thing to note there, just because the pull went out of bounds, they get a start at the brick mark, so about 15 yards up. And a quick turn has Kalen's with the disc here for Queens, looking to start. We have Alechuk with the disc on the sideline. She's probably going to look to get it off the sideline here just to reset. Back to Hubbard. Hubbard just missing the shot to Poole there, and UDM back on out, trying to get their first hold of the game.
Oh,
huge hand block by Angers there. Now Queens just gets the disc at the front of the end zone, trying to punch it in.
Campo avait une belle option. Par contre, la marque de Queens a anticipé et a fait une défensive bloquée par la main. Alors là, c'est Queens qui a le disque.
So Hubbard just isolating Electric at the start, and Queens gets their second break of the game. And you can see how excited the team is for the results.
Absolutely, Devon. It's anybody's game at this stage, and both teams are so excited to be here. Both teams want that spot in the top 8. It is great to see the excitement, and you know these teams a bit more. What are your thoughts on this game so far?
Queens has both times on defense come out in a bit of a zone, and UDM hasn't really looked to swing the disc too much, right? So I think UDM can start focusing on just trying to keep the disc moving, keep the disc alive, not focusing on shots through the middle that have caused some of their turnovers early.
Ce qui a été un peu compliqué pour l'Université de Montréal sur ce point-là, ça a été la zone que Queens a appliquée. C'est une zone dans une forme un peu, je ne sais pas trop, peut-être horizontale ou comme quelle forme tu dirais que la zone de Queens a? C'est peut-être un losange ou
It seems like a bit of a diamond zone. So it's like you have one mark, 2 ears to the zone on the wings, and then one person just stopping shallow, like over the tops, right over that first layer of the zone.
Oui, c'est ça. Queens applique une zone qui appelle le chinch zone, qui est une personne sur le lanceur et puis 2 personnes un peu plus loin, un peu plus en profondeur du terrain, puis une personne dans le fond qui font comme un losange ou un chin avec des oreilles. Queens qui arrête le roulement. Montréal qui vient chercher le disque. C'est le numéro 5, Beau Soleil à Campo. Campo qui trouve une option sur le côté. Oh. Un petit peu de confusion. 2 joueuses par terre. On vient voir la situation.
And that is G who went down. Coach Renaud just out on the field, making sure that everything's all right. It looks like there's going to be an injury sub. And in the sport of ultimate, you can call an injury at any point, and you get to sub on another player onto the field. And both teams actually have the chance to sub on a player. So it looks like we have G coming off, a new player coming on, and it looks like UDM is electing not to take their own substitute this time.
UDEM aurait pu faire un changement aussi pour avoir un remplacement, puisqu'il y a eu un changement du côté de Queens. Mais UDM décide de continuer avec les joueuses participantes. Numéro 5, Beau Soleil, qui cherche une option. Trouve quelqu'un au milieu. Trouve numéro 83, Campo, qui le lance long. Est-ce que ça sera attrapé? Oh, un petit peu trop loin pour Campo. Pas exactement clair c'était qui était supposé recevoir cette passe-là, mais il y avait beaucoup d'options. C'était une option valide, la longue passe.
Yes, yes. And the player was open. It was just misexecution there. We have Gauthier with the big grab there. She's just marshaling traffic here, telling her teammates to come back under to Franks. Back to Vujasic, and now Vujasic to Vujasic. I think they might be sisters.
They are sisters.
Yeah, disc in the middle now. Queen's really working it fluidly here. And just a little bit off the bounce of the hand of Gauthier, but a nice bid there to try to save it.
Beau Soleil sur le côté du terrain choisit de faire un lancer en mi-terrain qui est attrapé maintenant par Aubé Legault. Campo. Une belle défensive de la part de Queens, numéro 15.
Yeah, great D there by Vujasic. Really trying to get the disc back for her team. Vujasic to Vujasic again, airing it out to Finn later. But foul called here on Beausoleil, and they're going to get to talk about it.
Au Ultimate Frisbee, quand il y a des appels comme ça, les deux joueuses en parlent. C'est la première solution envisagée, c'est de discuter de ce qui est arrivé puis voir si on peut trouver une solution. Si ce n'est pas le cas, ils peuvent soit choisir de relancer au lanceur ou de demander à l'observateur ce qu'il en pense.
So it looks like the foul was called. The players came to an agreement to contest it. So in Ultimate, when a foul is called and you disagree on whether it was a foul or not, you go back to the point where you first agreed upon the foul, which is usually the last throw. So now we have Vujasic with the disc again.
Et voilà, pas plus compliqué que ça. On retourne au lanceur et le jeu se poursuit.
And Vujasic back to Lyle in the middle of the field, just around her own brick mark.
Oh.
Over to Gauthier.
Un bel effort défensif de Beau Soleil.
Oh, and Vujasic, a little shake and bake to get open there, but hand block looks like by Beausoleil, and she gets the disc going very quickly.
Une belle pression défensive de Beau Soleil et Aubé Legault. Une passe à Roy qui l'enfile. On a dénommé, qui essaye un lancer inside out qui n'a pas tout à fait fonctionné. Un lancer probablement pas exactement tel qu'intentionné. Il y a un petit vent, il faut dire, Devon. Il y a un petit vent qui souffle de côté, qui peut attraper le frisbee sur le côté, puis causer des changements de direction non intentionnés par le lanceur.
Yeah, and that was Chiaobei to St. John. And St. John, with the assist to Beausoleil, UDM scoring their first point of the game. So you must love that, getting on the board. How do you think the UDM girls feel now?
C'est certain que l'équipe de l'Université de Montréal est rassurée de voir qu'ils ont finalement un pointage là, sur le tableau des points. Je pense qu'elle le mérite. Puis, c'était un très beau point, des lances claires, de la belle communication, des lancers qu'on appelle up the line, donc dans la direction ouverte. Rien de compliqué. Devon, je pense que c'était vraiment du beau jeu.
Oh, oui, j'agrée.
T'es d'accord?
I am in agreement. Je suis d'accord.
Je suis d'accord. C'est ça, c'est parfait.
And yeah, now this is our first look at the University de Montréal D-line. So we'll see what type of defense they like to set there. We'll see if they have a zone of their own. And then this is also our first look at this Queens O-line. So we got to see what they're going to run to try to score.
Looking forward to it. So we talked a little bit about the coaching team for the Queens women's team. And on the Université de Montréal, we have two coaches, Sacha Saint-Gelais and Isabelle Lupena. And they were both on this team a few years.
All right, so Queens is currently
Oh.
working their way through a zone of Vujasic to Lyle, and then Lyle with just a bit of a turnover here, and UDM
Okay.
looking to get a break. However, just a turnover, a slight drop. Queens just picks it up, and they're going for it.
Il y a eu une belle défensive de Sénéchal qui s'est ensuite par un jeu par UDEM, ensuite un jeu par Queens, puis maintenant on est encore avec la possession de UDEM. C'est Dénommé qui prend le disque. Non, pardon, c'est 17. Nuha.
Looks like Queens is setting up a zone, causing a huck to go up like that. And Gauthier and Lyle just rips it down. Then we have Pemard just putting it up to Alekshuk and just misreading it, just having to do that classic double jump and not coming down with it. But Queens is going to set their zone here and UDM on offense.
On voit que UDM Lisotte lance en milieu de terrain. C'est intercepté.
Poole with the D there. Back to Pemard. And now we have Gauthier at the front of the stack, at the front of the end zone. Trying to direct traffic. OY backhand.
Oh, quelle belle anticipation du numéro 74, Fournier. Belle lecture du jeu. Belle passe de Madame 80, Forstel. Oui, belle pression de la part de Queens, mais c'est un lancer à l'extérieur du terrain.
And you saw their list just so close to the D there. And now UDM setting their own D. And Pemard picks up the disc and calls a timeout. It has been a bit of a long point, so smart decision by Pemard.
Devon, qu'est-ce que tu penses qui est le but de prendre un temps mort à ce moment-ci? Là? À quoi est-ce que l'équipe de Queens peut bien penser? Pourquoi ils ont pris un temps mort?
On offense? I think this is really just one of those take a breath moments for Queens. They really just, this is their first 0 point of the game. So a couple turns and they're probably a little tired for sure. You know, this is their second game of the day. And you can just see Coach Renault just trying to steady the ship, probably telling them, make a decision, take a breath before you throw, hit your open person. It's a zone, right? So the point here is just to keep swinging the disc until open throws open up and they can just get a disc.
I agree with you. Je pense que tout à fait, là, c'était un moment de juste prendre une pause, reprendre sa respiration puis de reprendre ses esprits. Les deux équipes ont fait plusieurs erreurs, ce qui est probablement pas tout à fait dans les normes pour ces équipes-là, qui sont quand même des équipes de compétition universitaire. Donc, c'est la chance de juste se recentrer, puis se réencourager, prendre un peu d'eau, puis recommencer ça.
Oui. And you see UDM setting their zone again, and Queens definitely anticipated that in the way that they set up here. So you see them having 3 handlers back so they can swing between each other. You see in the mid around half field, 2 poppers, which their main job is to run in and out to receive discs. And then in the back, they have 2 people who are going to stretch out the deep.
La zone d'UDM, qui a fonctionné. C'est une zone 3-3-1, donc 3 personnes très proches des handlers. Ça a causé un revirement et un deuxième point pour l'Université de Montréal.
So that was Dodd to Lisotte for the score.
Oui, et puis ça veut donc dire que le score est 2-2 pour Queens et pour Université de Montréal. Quel match excitant.
So UDM getting their own break. And unfortunately, Queens took the time to take a timeout, probably steady themselves, and you just see a quick turn and then UDM wasting no time and punching it in.
La zone que l'Université de Montréal a appliquée, la zone 3-3-1, a vraiment été un point tournant en termes de causer le revirement parce que ça a été difficile pour la handler de Kingston, de Queens en jaune, d'être capable de sortir de ce trou-là. Il était quand même sur le côté de la ligne. C'est pas une position facile d'où sortir. Puis avec la zone, il y avait trop d'interférences. Donc, ça a causé un revirement qui était quand même proche de leur zone de but. Donc, voilà, 2-2.
All right, yeah, UDM looking to keep the momentum going. They got one break. They've been broken twice, so they're definitely looking for more breaks to get back into the game and get this game back on serve. And Queens, it looks like they're putting out a similar O-line to what they had here, maybe just a couple changes. And both teams are ready to receive the pull, so let's see what happens.
83. Campo avec le lancer d'engagement.
This pull making it going. They're centering to Vujasic. Over to Lyle. And now we're back to Electric. Gauthier with the disc now. Looking to swing the disc, just pivoting around. Ooh, and just a low throw, just at Lyle's ankles. She couldn't reel it in. UDM looking to capitalize right away. Beausoleil with the toss, but Vujasic with the D. Just predicting that hook. Lyle trying to direct traffic, telling her teammates where she wants them. Electric getting the disc there. Over to Gauthier. Oh, Electric trying to run a give and go there, just going straight up line. Over to Vujasic. Oh, and what a beautiful cut there by Pemard to go up line, and Queens holds. So after getting broken, they have a clean offense where they just were patient. They got the disc open side under. When they got onto the sideline, they swung it back onto the sideline. Did you get to see anything there, Chantel?
Exactly what you just said, and I think I just want to add about the broken and the hold, because it's these are terms that we use as commentators, and I think it's just useful to maybe explain them for a second. So typically a team that will pull the disc and throw it to the other team, that other team has the advantage because they have the disc, and theoretically they could just pass the disc up and score. And if that happens, that's a hold because they were in possession of the disc and they maintained it. So that's a hold. But if the team that pulled created a turn and ended up also scoring after they pulled, that's a break. So, and I think that's what you've just said. Typically, if everyone does holds all the time, then it's an even score. But we've been seeing breaks and holds on both sides. So now a score of 3-2.
Yeah, and it's similar to the game of tennis, right? Where you have service games that you want to win because you're serving at them and you have the advantage. But in ultimate, when you receive the disc, you have the advantage there. So it's just a hold if you score. But it's a break and a big deal when you pull the disc to the other team and still score the goal in their other end zone.
And we call that a break.
Yes.
Not to be confused with the break side, which we'll talk about a little later.
Yeah, and that was Drassenauer with the pull. UDM en offense.
Dénommé qui cherche une option. Dénommé qui lance en quand même long. Belle lecture de la part du numéro 10, OB Legault. Petite option dans le milieu pour Lisotte. Lisotte qui cherche, qui va long. Oh, presque attrapé par le numéro 74, Fournier.
And that was just Cruzzoli providing some pressure there, causing the drop by the Fournier on UDM. So here, UDM is in match defense on the turn.
Un gros lancer du côté fermé qui n'a pas été complété. On a donc numéro 8, Dénommé, qui va prendre le disque et qui cherche tout de suite à savoir où sont ses options. La stratégie offensive qui est appliquée présentement, c'est l'hexagone. Oh, qui a tout à fait fonctionné pour l'Université de Montréal avec le numéro 10, OB Legault, qui a attrapé dans la zone de but. Donc, l'hexagone, c'est une stratégie qu'on ne voit pas souvent, Devon, et que je trouve vraiment intéressante. Ça a la forme d'un hexagone sur le terrain et ça donne beaucoup d'options, des options des fois courtes, des fois longues, des options des fois en triangle, des fois en diagonale. C'est un style de jeu complètement différent. J'ai hâte de voir si Queen va pouvoir s'adapter à ce genre d'offensive en forme hexagonale, qui n'est pas très commune.
Yeah, and UDM, they're just on the turn executing that strategy, just set a vertical stack, isolate someone in the lane, and that's why you had such a long throw to obey Lego for the score.
Alors, c'est 3-3 pour l'Université de Montréal et pour Queens. Et on vous rappelle que le gagnant de cette partie se classe dans le top 8 et a une chance de remporter les nationaux universitaires. Donc, un grand enjeu pour les deux équipes qui sont très motivées et qui, pour l'instant, sont de force égale. Un très bon match ici à Brampton, où il y a 60 équipes qui sont réunies pour 3 jours pour les championnats universitaires canadiens d'Ultimate Frisbee. Il y a 24 terrains et puis des gens de presque toutes les provinces.
Big pull here from Campo. And Queen centers it to Lyles. Lyles shoots it across the field here. Wojciech receiving it, swinging to Lyle again.
Voilà, pression zone. Ah, numéro 74,
Oh, and just,
Fournier, qui est capable d'intercepter. Cherche une option. Oh, qui est intercepté par Queens.
Lyle with the D there, just giving and going with Gauthier. Gauthier just waiting for some options to clear up. You know, Wojciech V with this here. We have List here with the disc on the sideline with that signature navy blue headbands from Queens, repping the school colors. Lyle again, just keeping the disc moving. Great grab by Gauthier under pressure.
Grosse pression par Roy.
And Lyle just reading the disc here, just outside the end zone. Lyle taking the shot to the end zone to List for the score. And another clean hold by Queens.
Les deux équipes s'échangent les points, c'est incroyable.
Yes, it's going really back and forth here. Lots of energy, lots of enthusiasm from both groups. Chantal, what can you tell from the game so far and the points we've played, in the 7 points we've played so far?
Oh, I think both teams are putting out really interesting and creative strategies. And, you know, we've seen an equal amount of creativity from both teams and agility and discipline, but also a little bit of bad luck on both teams. So I think it's just fair on each side. Yeah. What about you, Devon? What have you seen so far?
Yeah, it looks to see like we have two evenly matched teams here, which always makes it an exciting game to watch. You know, only 1 point separates the teams right now. And it's really going to come down to, I think, the discipline, right? Like we did see some bad luck here, but it's really just making those focus throws to get that completions. Winds picking up a little bit. It's a bit weird, changing directions. But yeah, I think that's what it's going to come down to today.
Yeah, the temperature is about 11 degrees Celsius, maybe a little bit more, maybe 13 maximum. So it's just a little cool. As we can see, some of the women are in shorts and some are wearing longs. When you're playing, it might be nice, but sometimes the fingers are a little bit cold. So sometimes that does affect how you can catch a disc, especially on one hand.
Yeah, and big pull here from Drazenauer and UDM on offense.
Yes, we've got Lisette who picked up and now looking for an option, looking to the side to Nuho. Nuho throwing it long. Great put and great read by 26 Dodd. Looking to reset to number 8, Denomé. And Forstel puts it long, and it's a confirmed by the observers, confirmed point by number 26, Dodd, for Université de Montréal.
Yeah, and that was such a creative throw by Forstel there. She put her hands on her head after probably a sigh of relief, but it worked out. And even on this upwind point, shows, like you said, how creative these teams are going to be to score.
It also looks like these teams are having fun and are trusting each other. You know, it feels, you can feel the team spirit. On voit l'esprit d'équipe, on voit le plaisir puis la camaraderie dans ces deux équipes, la confiance qui règne. C'est beau à voir. L'esprit d'équipe est beau à voir aujourd'hui.
And Chantal, I know you have been an ultimate player yourself. Were you a fan of hammers and scoobers and other fun throws when you were playing competitively?
To be honest, no, I'm not a fan of hammers and blades and, you know, push passes. I'm much more of a conservative player. I like the frank, you know, lots of spin, clear, easy throws. But, you know, when they work, we'll take them.
Yeah, you definitely can't discriminate on the assist. You know, if it's an assist, it's an assist. Some coaches might say there's a difference, but to the player, I scored the goal.
That's right. It also depends. Throw what you know, right?
Yeah. And Beausoleil with the pull here. Queen's looking to get this just moving from the zone. Just a little bit of bad luck by Wojciech dropping that catch, and UDM just outside their end zone.
Yeah. Campo qui prend le disque, qui essaye de trouver une option. Oh, et voilà, un lancer par-dessus la tête. C'est un point pour UDM, attrapé par la numéro 80, si je ne m'abuse, Forsell.
Yeah, and call it luck, call it skill. UDM coming down with yet another goal.
That's right. Oh, and that was a little bit of an over-the-head throw. Again, something that looked like, I don't know, was it a hammer?
It looked like a high release backhand. It's
High-release
just the way that this came out.
Yeah.
It floated a little, but
Yeah.
you know they say in ultimate, know your receiver, and
That's
she
it.
knew her receiver and
That's
Forsto
it.
with
Yeah.
that grab.
What about you? What are your thoughts on those kind of throws, blades, and
You know, I think for me personally, I'm a D-line cutter, so I try to have the discs in my hands as little as possible. So I'll do whatever it takes to get the disc to my teammates who are better throwers than me. But you know, if it's indoors 4-on-4 when there's no wind, anything's fair game. I love a little breakside scuba, a little hammer. Let's have fun with it because just flat flicks and backhands are a little boring.
Well, more with this game now 5-4. They've been exchanging points. Les deux équipes s'échangent les points.
Yes, and I think we're finally back on serve. UDM with another break to go up 5-4. No, I think we're on serve, and UDM just getting
Un
organized.
lancer d'engagement qui est peut-être un petit peu plus court que souhaité, mais il est tombé à l'intérieur.
All right, and that pull running inbounds. We have Pemard picking it up on the sideline.
Oh, une belle anticipation de la numéro 2, Olivia Saint-Jean, qui a créé de la pression. Oh, et Olivia Saint-Jean qui l'attrape encore.
And
Le
that was
passe
St. John
à
with a
Lisotte.
great grab there.
Uh-huh. Oh, quelle défensive de numéro 19 de Queens, Vujasic, Valérie.
Yeah, Vujasic with the pressure there. Getting the play back after the unfortunate turn.
Qui a empêché New Ho d'avoir le disque. On voit ici leur zone 3-3-1 réappliquée.
All right, Queens still facing this zone. You know, Lyle and Gauthier, they've been out there swinging the disc, trying to will Queens past half here and to score. Gauthier swinging to Pemard in the middle. Now we have Vujasic.
Des joueuses très athlétiques dans le mur. On voit qu'elles sont rendues quand même assez rapidement à la lanceuse qui est sur le côté, ce qui fait que les lancers sur le côté sont plus difficiles à effectuer. Voilà, il y en a un de réussi.
Gauthier moving up to Electric. Gauthier calling for the disc back. Now Gauthier just breaking the mark, getting the disc to the middle of the field here. We have List here to Vujasic. Queens looking to get into their end zone set now. Pivoting around, puts up a flick to the end zone. And it works out with number 16, Poole, coming down with it. So, how exciting are these throws, Chantal?
You know, I wasn't sure who was going to come down with it, but it worked. And as long as it's working, you know what? Let's do it. So,
yeah, I think so many people in Ultimate, they want to optimize things. They want it to be perfect. But when you're putting up things like that, I'll be entertained all day.
That's right. That's right. It's a great game. So, Université de Montréal calling their line.
Okay, so it looks like it is 5-5.
5-5.
Tied game.
Encore un excellent match. C'est vraiment n'importe quelle de ces deux équipes peuvent remporter le match. Puis c'est difficile à dire qu'est-ce qui va faire la différence. What do you think is going to make the difference and who's going to win this game?
Well, 10 points into this game, we've seen a lot from both teams. We've seen that both teams want to play a lot of zone. They're comfortable swinging the disc. They're not scared to take shots.
No.
Not at all. So I think it's really just going to be which zone can put on more pressure and
Right.
which team can have the patience to work through those zones. Because taking shots is fun, but, you know, some reserved looks do get you farther sometimes. All right, UDM on offense. I'll hand it to Chantal en français.
Le numéro 83, Campo, qui cherche une option. Oh, là, réussi un lancer par-dessus la zone, par-dessus la cope. Joue extrêmement bien avec les joueurs du milieu. Beau Soleil qui trouve l'option. Un petit passe-essuie de la part de Beau Soleil avec son ami Sénéchal. Oh, le lancer long qui n'a pas fonctionné, qui était pour Campo.
Yeah, Bosley just throwing turnover. Lepi coming in with a D there.
Une belle interception de la part de Lefi.
Oh, Queens picking it up at the front of their end zone and
Beau Soleil ramasse, cherche l'option. Ça va être une up the line par 42 Lisotte. Oh, un beau lancer du côté fermé et c'est attrapé par Fournier. Quel choix de lancer exceptionnel. On voit ici la seniorité de la numéro 42, Lisotte, d'avoir osé de faire ce lancer-là du côté fermé. Quand même un lancer qui demandait une précision et puis une expérience. C'est un lancer d'expérience d'aller chercher un lancer si loin. Il y a du vent, mentionnons-le. Il y a du vent et ça a été parfaitement exécuté. Un excellent choix, une belle exécution.
Yeah, and you really just saw her take her time, find the open teammate. Not a clean hold from UDM, but a hold nonetheless. And Chantal, can you tell us, now that we're 11 points in, we've probably been saying their name, but what are some key players to look out for this match?
Well, il y a certains joueurs qu'on nomme souvent sur l'équipe de l'Université de Montréal, veut pas. Je pense que, par exemple, Beau Soleil, Lisotte, celle qui vient de faire le lancer pour le point, Campo aussi, qui est une handler qu'on voit souvent. Mais une des choses que je trouve intéressante, Devon, c'est que je suis là, puis je nomme les joueuses, puis j'en nomme beaucoup. Je trouve qu'il n'y a pas nécessairement juste 2, 3 joueuses qui font tous les jeux. Donc, je trouve ça vraiment fort de l'équipe de l'Université de Montréal d'utiliser autant de joueuses qui créent autant de bonnes options puis autant de bons jeux. Je pense que ça, c'est une des forces de l'Université de Montréal.
Yes, and UDM pulling, Bosley with the pull, making it just past half. And let's see what Queens can do against this zone. We have Lyle picking it up to Gauthier, to Pemard. Oh, sorry, that was Vujasic in the middle of the field now here. Lyle sending it back to Vujasic, just working it around the zone here. Breaking it through to number 6, Gauthier. Gauthier taking the safe option, resetting the disc. Pemard looking at Gauthier still. Gauthier resetting the disc to Pemard.
We've just heard fire, which means they're going to go to a person-to-person defense.
Yeah, and we'll see if Queens works even quicker now. Lyle to Gauthier. Some great defense in the lane by Nuad to shut down her player. Lyle getting the disc on the break side here with an inside flick. Inside flick to Pemard. And Pemard to Electric, I think.
Yeah, I can't see her number, but we'll get that. Oh, here she goes. 13, yeah.
Number 13, Electric. Okay,
yeah.
So.
No, another great point by Queens. So, everyone's been playing so well. What about some of the players on the Queens side? Who are we watching out for?
Yeah, you can definitely see some main handling from Valerie Vujasic, number 19, and Pemard in the middle, just holding down, and some big receivers in Gauthier and List and Electric. All the names we've been saying, and look out for E on defense with Hubbard. Just some main defenders to try to get Queens those breaks that are so precious in a game that's this close.
Right. So the score is tied.
Tied again.
And the game will be 80 minutes, and there is going to be an end of game either at 15 points or at 80 minutes hard cap. Donc, le match va se poursuivre jusqu'à ce qu'une des équipes atteigne 15 points ou quand le temps sera écoulé après 80 minutes. Donc, pour l'instant, c'est 6-6. Encore très difficile de savoir qui va remporter ce match très important.
Drastenauer with the pull here, getting some good field positioning for Queens. And UDM on offense again.
Nice, Noli. It's you, Noli.
Oh, un excellent attrapé par la numéro 26, Dodd. Un attrapé sauté par la 80, Forstel. Et un essai d'un long dans le... Oui, c'est attrapé dans la zone de but par la 74, Fournier. Un point rapide pour l'Université de Montréal.
Yep. Very quick point there. It looked like Queens was putting not too much pressure on the UDM Cudgers. They just got open and kept hitting their open players to that shot in the end zone with a great read by Fournier there to score again. So
Alors,
I
7-6 pour l'Université de Montréal.
we and UDM has a chance to take half here if they get a break on Queens.
Oui, c'est ça, parce que la demi va avoir lieu après 40 minutes de jeu et ça devrait être dans quelques secondes. On devrait entendre là, le son qui nous dit que ça fait 40 minutes et puis qu'il faut prendre une petite pause pour la mi-temps. Ça s'en vient de façon imminente.
And so now with Queens on offense, they do have a head coach in Paul Renault. But tell us about some of these assistant coaches here for Queens.
Yes, I had the chance to speak with them. So I spoke with Katie, and she talked about Sophie and Tess. And these were all women who played on Queens Women themselves. And so they played for 5 years on the Queens Women team. And they now play for a competitive local team called Locals 613.
Yeah, the competitive mixed team coming out of Kingston. And yeah, it's great to give back to the program that built you up. You played for 5 years, and now you're helping coach the next generation. But back to the game at hand, we have Vujasic picking it up again to Lyle. Still navigating this UDM zone. It seems like UDM's really sticking to it. They must be seeing something that they like. Alekshuk, back to Pemard, back to Vujasic, back to Pemard, and really just swinging back and forth. This UDM Cup will get tired eventually, so I'm sure Queens is looking for that. Lyle shooting across the field to Pemard, and now it looks like they've melted into match. List here on the sideline. We'll see if they can be disciplined in their end zone set. List giving it off to Vujasic just outside the front of the end zone. Oh, and she sends it. Oh, I flick to the back. And Alekshuk just plucking that out of the sky using her long reach and height over some of the girls. Like we said, these shots to the end zone are not boring.
These shots to the end zone are very creative. Encore un lancer très créatif. Je pense que le compte commençait à être élevé. Donc, on sait qu'ils ont 10 secondes pour lancer. Ça semblait faire à peu près 10 secondes. Donc, je crois qu'elle a pris ce qu'elle pouvait. Puis, ça a fonctionné. Donc, tant mieux. C'est créatif et c'est mieux que de rester avec le frisbee mort dans les mains.
Yeah, you make a great point there. Yes, they're creative shots, but they're functional. They're working. They're going forward. And they're the reason why this game is tied 7-7. So UDM looking to hold, punching this 0 point to go to half. What are some things that UDM has to focus on to really get this score and bring that momentum into halftime?
That's a great question. I've noticed with UDM, I've noticed their D very much. I think that their zone has been working quite a bit. It's harder for me to pick out what it is on O that's been working for them. I think that, like I said before, some of the fact that a lot of their players are versatile, that's what's working for them. And I think they should just keep that up, have a lot of options. I'm wondering if we're going to see that hexagon O, which they put on before.
No, and looks like the Queens women's team's coming here out in a person defense, causing up a shot.
Oh, belle attrapée de la part du numéro 9.
Beausoleil à Roy. Beausoleil with another shot to the end zone, but Alekshuk just shutting that down, really closing the door on that. So we have Vujasic picking it up. Queens really trust her to get them out of some tough situations. Like, this is a tough cone to pick up on. But Lyle unmarked in the middle of the field. To Hubbard. Alekshuk going there. Just waiting for some teammates to get open. Up the line to Lyle. Lyle with a big shot over here. Looking for Hubbard. Brings it down. Hubbard at the front of the end zone looking for a reset. Ooh. And the Lyle to Hubbard connection just missing there. UDM has another chance to hold here.
Donc, on a Beausoleil qui reprend le disque. Allez, Beausoleil. Oui, bravo. Une passe bien attrapée, un essai de la part de Sénéchal qui est juste un petit peu trop loin. Oh,
Oh, wow. And Bujasic taking a big shot over there to number 6, Gautier, I believe.
Yes.
And it's just working out for Queens to take a break into half. So now the momentum's going in the way up from the girls from Kingston. What about that, Chantal?
C'est vraiment un match hyper excitant, Devon. On arrive à la mi-temps. Queens vient de prendre de l'avance, mais de l'avance d'un point. Ils sont 8-7. Mais ça a été un bris. C'est un bris. Donc, c'était un point qui aurait dû être, puisque c'était Queens qui avait fait le lancer d'engagement, Queens aurait dû être en défensive, puis ça aurait dû être l'Université de Montréal qui aurait dû faire le point. Donc, c'est un gain pour Queens. On va voir si l'Université de Montréal, au retour, va être capable de faire la même chose.
All right, we will be taking a little bit of a break into halftime, but we will come back soon to bring you back the end of this exciting game.
On va prendre quelques minutes pour faire la mi-temps et on revient dans 2 minutes.
All right, we are back. Oh, fans of Ultimate, we are back here. Sorry, some chord difficulties. Okay, and we have a great game on our hand here. We have the University of Queens women's teams versus the University de Montréal, and Queens took half 8-7 here, and they're receiving on O, which means they have a chance to go up 9-7. Chantal, do you want to summarize some of the first half for us?
Yeah, so I'll do it in French first, and then we can talk about it in English. So the first half, en français, la première demi, ça a été vraiment serré, c'était point par point. Finalement, Queens a le devant pour l'instant. Et puis là, s'ils font ce point-ci, il serait 9-7. So it was point by point trades in the first half, and now Queens has a chance to be 9-7 if they make this. But there is a turnover.
Yes, and UDM just taking advantage of, just a misfire here. So looking to get a break back.
Oui, Lisotte à Dodd. Dodd qui cherche une option, qui trouve Newhow à Campo. Chioba. Et un long pour Lisotte. Et oh, quel
Oh my goodness!
c'est attrapé sur le rebond par Lisotte pour un point très important de l'Université de Montréal.
And that is just one of those unfortunate moments where our pool thought she had it. She thought hitting it was enough, but UDM just picking up the seconds there.
Puis je dis que c'est un point important parce que si UDM n'avait pas fait ce point-là, ça aurait été 9-7, qui aurait été quand même la plus grosse avance qu'on a vue de ce match ici pour Queens. Mais là, c'est plutôt 8-8. Donc, un point important.
So now it looks like it's going to be 8-8. Now UDM just needs one more break to take a lead in this game and really take control. They're going to, if they just trade it out from here, just scoring all their offensive points, Queens would win. So UDM needs just some more Ds to get into Division 1 and join their men's team who just qualified in the game before on stream against Carleton.
And it's interesting to note that last year Queens came in 4th at CUUC 2022. So they do have their spots in Division 1 typically. So it'll be interesting to see if they can reclaim it this year. And Université de Montréal has yet to ever be in Division 1 in the top 8. So they are really hungry for it, and they are going to fight for it.
Yeah, and if that's one thing I've learned playing in the University Series, skill is one thing, but heart matters so much. You really have to want it. It's really about that energy. It's really about how intense can you be. And Queens on offense, the pool just slipping through a couple players' legs here, but now looking to fight this UDM zone again. So we had Pemard to Vujasic, over to Lyle. Oh, and Gauthier doing everything to keep this disc alive.
You were talking about heart. I think that qualifies.
Oh, yeah. Over here, so we got Vujasic in the middle again. Just keep swinging around this zone, seeing what opens up. Oh, Lyle with a great find to list over there. I said headband earlier, but it's really a backwards visor. A look from the 90s, I think, Chantal. All right.
Oh, there's a good look there for the break side throw.
Oh, yeah, great inside flick to Gauthier. Vujasic holding the disc, wanting the flick.
Intercepted.
One of the trusty receiver. This is number 8, Denome with the D.
And Denome again. Denome qui regarde long pour... Oh, il y a beaucoup de monde là, mais c'est Beausoleil qui le prend et qui l'envoie pour Saint-Jean. Oh, un petit peu trop loin.
Beausoleil with the great read there on the long throw from Denome, but just couldn't find her teammate Saint-Jean in the end zone. So we have just Queens deciding where they want to pick up the disc. And Queens working up, trying to get their first hold of the half and their first point of the second half. And probably not what they wanted.
Belle lecture par Roy qui cause le revirement, qui fait une interception. On a Beausoleil qui cherche une option, qui va le trouver du côté fermé avec Campo. Oh, ça rebondit du bout des doigts de numéro 5 Beausoleil.
All right, we have Vujasic picking up the disc here. Oh, and so much defensive pressure from UDM, but a foul called. So they'll talk about it, and we'll see what happens.
Une belle pression de Roy, le numéro 9.
This is one of the benefits of having observers on the field here, because if you can't come to an agreement yourselves with the players like usual, you can go to the observers for their opinion. But it looks like the players here are just agreeing to contest. So you can do that in ultimate. Whenever you disagree about the call, you just send the disc back to the last place you can agree upon, which is usually the last throw. And now we have Vujasic with the disc again to Lyle here in the middle of the field.
Les joueurs se sont entendus pour que le disque revienne à la lanceuse.
So Electric with the disc here. Looking for some options here. Stall count getting a little high. And again, UDM with that pressure, but another foul called. And I think this is the same matchup.
It is the same matchup. C'est le même match que tantôt avec Roy.
This Gauthier-Roy matchup looking to be very tight, you know,
Very competitive.
always on each other's shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Donc, quand deux joueurs, quand il y a une personne qui dit qu'il y a eu une faute, donc il y a eu un contact, il y a un appel, et puis les deux joueuses le discutent. Puis si c'est contesté, c'est-à-dire qu'ils ne s'entendent pas tout à fait pour dire que c'était pas quelque chose qui devait arriver, ils le relancent au lanceur, au dernier point où ils s'entendent.
And you don't see this very often, but like 2 fouls called, 2 contests with the same people. It seems like they're agreeing on it. So we have Pemard now with the disc again. Vujasic trying to get open. Oh, great reset defense, but Vujasic just still getting open and continuing to Beausoleil with the D.
Grosse défensive de la part de Beausoleil qui lit, qui anticipe le jeu puis qui se place dans la ligne de tir.
So Beausoleil has already shown us she has some big throws here, taking a safer option, getting the disc to the middle.
Aubé Lebeau a dénommé qui cherche la remettre au centre avec Beausoleil, qui se demande à qui elle va le faire. Long, milieu, incertain. La numéro 2, Saint-Jean, s'en vient, mais un petit peu. Et voilà, Saint-Jean qui a trouvé le disque.
All right, UDM just working the disc here. A bit of a sky, but Denome calls a timeout. She has seen enough of this point. And after a throw like that, you know, they just want to get some water, get together, and figure out what the plan is to get this second break in a row to start the half.
Il y a un temps mort qui est appliqué exactement, puis l'Université de Montréal veut chercher à se recentrer, à peut-être faire une petite stratégie. Chaque équipe a le droit à 2 temps morts par demi. Ça, c'est le premier pour cette demi-ci, du moins avec l'Université de Montréal. Donc, on va voir quelle sorte de stratégie ils vont sortir. Là, ils sont en offensive, puis ils essaient vraiment de faire ce point-là pour prendre l'avance du match.
And if you're anything like Devon before September 2022 moving to Ottawa, you didn't understand any of that French. So the translation is just Chantal explaining that we have 2 timeouts per half per équipe. Oh, I mean, oh my gosh.
Per half.
Per half, per team. And it's just to discuss some strategy here. So while we're in this timeout, Chantal, I see you sporting a hat here. You see a lot of different styles on the field. Some people with a hat, some a headband, some a visor. What's your go-to when you're playing Ultimate?
I typically like to wear a hat because number one, it prevents from heat stroke, although that's not so much of an issue today with the temperature. But I do like the hat. Sometimes if I'm reading along, though, I'll just pop the hat off. Yeah. What about you?
I am dedicated to my Lululemon Fasten Free hat. It's just like a sweatband for me. I just sweat so much. But I've been known to rock a visor sometimes, but never a backward one like List is wearing. I might have to try that in my next tournament.
All right. Alors, on a dénommé avec le disque qui cherche une option. Et il y a eu vraiment un hand block de la part de la numéro 7.
And List with the hand block. It's the power of the backward visor, I think. I definitely wouldn't be getting that D without a hat on. So Gauthier here just trying to direct traffic here. Has Vujasic on the line just up in the end zone. Vujasic to List. And double happiness from List there, getting the hand block and beating her mark up line to score the goal. And Queens is back in the scoring cap.
Maybe it is something with that backward visor, Devon. I'm now thinking maybe that's going to be a thing.
I think after people watch the stream and they see List performance, she could be somewhat of an icon in the division and charging the style. I know you spent some time around juniors this summer.
Yes.
In the junior women's division, do we see any accessories that majority of the people are taking on?
Oh, that's such a good question. Listen, I think the tie-dye is making a comeback.
Okay.
And also, those cotton shirts where you rip part of the shirt and then you make little knots and things like this. So it was a little bit more artsy, and that's what I've seen a lot of in the junior division. In terms of attire, though, I can't say that I've noticed any sort of headbands or hats or anything like that, or I
Well-
didn't notice.
Well, we'll see what there. I'm sure every university team has some rookies, so we'll see what some of the rookies are infusing into these teams with some veterans who are in their 5th year of university.
Mm-hmm. And we've talked about it. I think we might have mentioned it in French, but or did we mention English on the Queens team? How there are so many rookies from the other sports like soccer. And so I think I'm going to also mention that to people in French. Alors, dans l'équipe de Queens, il y a beaucoup de filles qui sont nouvelles au sport de l'ultimate frisbee. Donc, en jaune, il y en a 16 cette année sur l'équipe. Que c'est leur première année. Ils viennent de d'autres sports comme le soccer. Ils sont extrêmement athlétiques.
So back to the game here. UDM down 8-9. Queens just held just for the first time out of half. And we have a turn. So we have none just getting that D, picking it up. And now we're seeing Queens D-line trying to work and get another break. So we have number 2 with the disc to Vujasic. And just a slight overthrow. Oh, okay. All players are okay. And UDM checking in the disc on O.
Oui, l'Université de Montréal a fait de la défensive aussi en faisant ce qu'on appelle des switches. Donc, ils changeaient de joueuses pour optimiser leur positionnement sur le terrain, ce qui est très stratégique. Ça demande un bon niveau de communication.
Oh, and just an overthrow there. So now Queens having the chance to break back and go up 2 points in this game. Probably the most separation we've seen.
Mm-hmm. On n'a pas encore vu 2 points de séparation. Et si Queens peut faire le point, ça serait 2 points de séparation pour la première fois du match.
And unfortunately, you saw 2 Queens players, solely one of them coming down with the disc, just hitting her own player and just making sure everyone's okay before resuming play. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to rhyme there.
You're just a natural.
Okay, observer just...
Looks like everyone's okay. So, on retourne au jeu. Tout le monde a l'air en santé. On peut poursuivre. Et si Queens fait ce point-là, ça sera un 2 points d'avance pour Queens, qui serait le plus d'avance qu'il y a eu.
Solly with the disc out just outside the end zone, looking for options. Stall count getting high, and just had to shove a pass in there to none, but just denied by the UDM players.
Oui, Denomé qui a fait une belle défensive. Quelle lecture exceptionnelle par numéro 8, Dénomé. Bon, elle peut avoir fait les deux. Je me suis peut-être trompée de numéro. On a OB Legault qui cherche une option, un up the line. Non, ça ne sera pas ça. Qui cherche un reset, qui a beaucoup d'options et qui choisit de la mettre dans le fond. Et que ça a fonctionné pour la numéro 74, Fournier, qui a fait le point. Donc, ça ne sera pas un 2 points d'écart. Ça va être encore un match égal, 9-9.
Yes, very evenly matched here. And if you missed any part of the first half, you would have seen OI flick shots like that, just taking risks into the end zone. Both teams have become accustomed to shots like that, and that's just how they scored the majority of their points here. So,
oui, les lancers sont créatifs, ne sont pas nécessairement droits. Ils sont parfois un peu par en haut, mais finalement, ça fonctionne et ils font un point.
Yep, and UDM just taking some time to talk about something before they go on a defensive point here. Okay, so we're seeing the typical Queens O-line. Yeah, we're seeing the typical Queens O-line here with some main characters of Vujasic and Electric, Gauthier, people who have been making plays.
That's right. Yeah, and I think that both teams are going to be starting to think of who they want to see on that line. Les lignes vont commencer de plus en plus stratégiques parce qu'on arrive de plus en plus proche de la deuxième moitié du match, de la fin du match. Donc, un beau lancer d'engagement.
All right, so we are back in Vujasic to Palmer. Just working through this UDM zone again. Lyle gets it on the sideline. That's the main strategy here. It's been to just swing sideline to sideline. Gauthier back to Lyle, to Vujasic, back in the middle. to Pemard, just swinging, tiring out this UDM zone. Okay, yeah, and I love the patience here from Queens in this zone. They've made it sideline to sideline about 2 or 3 times already. A little give and go there in the middle with Gauthier to Electric right now. And Pemard just and UDM has also melted to match already. So now they are in their person-to-person defense. Lyle getting the disc up line on the open side. Hitting Gauthier here. Gauthier so close to the end zone. And just hitting the open side, electric. So we saw them move sideline to sideline, hitting your open side. And that's why Queens is now up 1 again, 10-9.
10-9. So, yeah, it's Université de Montréal had put on a great zone for women up in front in the handlers, but then there was a break and one of the passes went through that wall. And after that, everything was history. So Queens knew how to throw and get around and be patient with the disc, and it worked for them. So that's why they've now got 1 point up.
Yes, and I'm sure if history serves us right, Université de Montréal might get another point right after to even it up. But yeah.
And again, the team that wins this game is going to be in the top 8, and Université de Montréal has never been in the top 8, so they are very hungry for it. And Queen's University was number 4 last year, so
yeah, and there's advantages to both, right? Queens coming in with so much history, winning medals in Division 1. They know how to get there. They know how to win. Their coaches have been a part of those winning programs. You know, a coach like Paul Renault, he's helped them there many times. But with UDM, you have that hunger, you have that fight, you have that excitement because they've never been there before. So they're pushing harder. They're not getting tired. They're like, we want to make it to Division 1 for the first time.
That's right.
And let's see what they do on O here.
Yep, anybody's game. Alors, on a Lisette qui cherche une belle option, qui la trouve avec le numéro 26, Dodd. Dodd à Aubé-Legault. Il va chercher un reset en arrière avec Forstel, malheureusement intercepté.
Yes, unfortunate is the right word here. Queen's picking it up. Oh, they're just going, and I think Vujasic moving a little too fast to Lyle, giving them another chance to hold here.
Une grande pression de Roy en défensive. Je pense que c'est vraiment à mentionner parce que, oh, il y a un appel. La pression de Roy fait qu'il y a souvent des revirements.
And it looks like a pick was called, so the disc will probably go back.
Les filles s'expliquent. Il y a eu un appel. Ça a l'air que c'est un pic. Donc, il y aurait eu une personne qui aurait été dans le chemin de quelqu'un qui essayait de couvrir. Donc, cette personne-là est obligée d'arrêter de courir. Puis dit.
And for the audience at home, essentially what's happening is a pick was called. So there's some discussion about whether the player would have caught the disc or not, which then leads to would that next throw have stand? Because there's a bit of a +1 continuation rule. We don't have to get into all of that now, but it seems like the resolution on the field is that the defender had a play on the disc, so the disc has to go back because in Frisbee, you can't obstruct anybody. No picks allowed like in basketball.
Alors, le disque retourne à Lisotte et le jeu continue. Aubé-Legault qui l'attrape en courant et qui cherche une belle option. Il va trouver Dodd. Dodd qui cherche une belle continuité d'un numéro 80, Forstel. Forstel qui dirige le jeu et qui choisit un lancer long, un tout petit peu trop long pour la numéro 10, Aubé-Legault.
And we've seen Forstel with a couple of those shots, sometimes connecting, sometimes not connecting, but this time not connecting and giving Queens a chance to get a break. Vujasic with the disc, throwing a long one. I don't think it's going to stay in bounds. And unfortunately, observer marking where it went out, and UDM has another chance to get their hold here.
Nouveau qui va reprendre le disque à cet endroit-là, la zone de l'Université de Montréal qui a fonctionné pour appliquer de la pression, qui a créé un lancer qui est allé à l'extérieur.
And very interesting setup here. You see UDM not with any traditional stack. You pointed out this might be a hex.
It's a hex. It's a hex formation. Donc, ils sont en formation hexagonale qui donne plus des options un peu triangulaires dans tous les sens. Ah, c'était une belle passe avec une belle option, mais c'est sorti des doigts de Obi Legault.
All right. And under pressure, making that grab Hubbard. Just trying to direct traffic. And looking big, but I don't think her receiver was on the same page.
Ça arrive des fois. On n'a pas la même idée que les receveurs.
All right. So a team like UDM, you've had a couple tries on offense already, probably like 3 or 4. What do you do now to try to get this hold?
Yeah, I think just keeping more of the same, making sure that they throw to open players, I think is going to be key. Alors, on a Lisotte qui il va du côté fermé, mais le lancer est un petit peu trop long et n'est pas attrapé par la numéro 10, Obi Legault. L'Université de Montréal est en défensive.
Yeah, and Queens has great field positioning right now to try to punch it in. They don't have to take many risks here. Vujasic to Lyle, hitting the inside to Hubbard, and that's a break. So
Wow.
Queens now up 11-9. Putting a lot of pressure there, right? Like UDM couldn't complete some of their throws. Chantal, you've played a lot of Frisbee. You've been in this position before. What do you say to UDM if you're their coach telling them in this timeout now that they're going to call?
Keep doing exactly what you were doing before. You know what? Everything has been working. Just calm the nerves. Look for throws that you know. Look for receivers that are open, and just play your game and play 100%, because this is it. You know, there's only a few minutes left, and give it everything you've got. That's what I would say. What about you, Devon? You've played tons of competitive Frisbee as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you have to say, like, you might be tired here. You might be thinking about some mistakes you made, but really just focus on what's happening right now. So our main objectives here, we have to get this hold first. Then we'll start thinking about this break. Then we'll start thinking about the next break and the points we have
right.
with time winding down. So UDM jogging back out there. It looks good. Looks like they have energy. Looks like they're still in high spirits, not too down on themselves. They have their typical O-line back out there. So looks like good things. But this Queens...
va reprendre en offensive parce que là, Queens vient de faire le point. Queens est en avance de 2 points. Par contre, ça va être l'Université de Montréal qui va commencer avec le 10, c'est-à-dire qu'ils vont le recevoir. Puis, ils ont le temps, il reste à peu près 10 minutes au match. Donc, ils ont le temps de reprendre. Il n'est pas trop tard. On pense que les coachs ils ont probablement dit allez-y, donnez tout ce que vous avez, lancez ce que vous connaissez, puis faites-vous plaisir, puis allez-y intensément.
Yeah, nowhere I'd rather be than watching this game right now.
Yeah, no kidding, no kidding. So what about Queens, Devon? What do you think their coaches are saying to them?
Oh, they're definitely saying keep the foot on the gas pedal, to use a car analogy. I don't know if it translates to French well, but keep the foot on the gas pedal. Don't give up. They'd probably love to win this game 15-9 and not let UDM score anymore. So they're probably going to come out in the classic diamond zone that they've been looking at. We have a great pull from Drazenauer. And landing in bounds. So,
OK, c'est Lisotte qui reprend le disque. Fait un centrage à Campo, qui cherche une belle option qu'elle trouve dans la numéro 20, Sénéchal. Une grosse pression de l'équipe de Queens, mais les filles de l'Université de Montréal ne se laissent pas impressionner. On a Campo. Oui, belle présence de jeu de la part de 74, Fournier qui trouve le disque qui flotte.
oh,
C'était un excellent saut de Beau Soleil. Beaucoup de vertical sur ce saut-là.
Oh, yeah. Beau Soleil really just got up there. Unfortunately, couldn't reel it back in. Queens has their usual suspects picking up the disc. We have Lyle with the gray visor. I still, like the visor look. And UDM breaking out a zone on the turn here. Alexa, what a grab there. Lyle just trusting in her receivers. Lyle studying the ship, getting it back. Keeping the disc moving.
L'Université de Montréal qui est revenue à une défensive personne à personne.
Oh. Okay, we have Hall Smith with the disc here on the sideline. Electric back there. You can see the Queens sideline just in anticipation, thinking about getting this other break. Electric does need new options, and just a little bit of a miscommunication between her and Drazenauer. UDM back with the opportunity to hold.
Campo avec le disque, c'est important pour l'Université de Montréal de faire ce point-ci, puis de l'autre après aussi. Ah, malheureusement, la passe n'est pas complétée, un petit peu à l'extérieur. Ah, il y a un appel de faute. On voit le symbole de main.
So it looks like, even though it was a turnover, the thrower is calling a foul. And like you've seen throughout the game, you can just have a little bit of a discussion to decide what happened and whose perspective we're going to trust. So I think from the observer's hand signals, it looks like it's going to be a contest. So the disc will go back to Université de Montréal.
Donc, la raison que le lancer était à l'extérieur, la joueuse de l'Université de Montréal dit c'est parce qu'il y a eu un contact avec ma main. Le disque est allé à l'extérieur, donc c'est repris par l'Université de Montréal. Et voilà, le lancer à Roy. Roy à Sénéchal qui cherche une option, qui retrouve Roy en arrière. Qui trouve dénommé. Une option. Beaucoup des petites passes qui suivent. Non, Lisotte conserve.
But you can really see here, like, they're very patient in taking their open shots.
Oui. Beaucoup de patience de l'équipe de Montréal parce qu'ils comprennent l'importance. Et un lancer long. Ah, Beau Soleil, quel point important pour l'Université de Montréal.
Yes, Lisotte to Beausoleil. Beausoleil was working so hard in that point. Going every other. Then she went downfield and absolutely just roasted her defender with so much separation.
L'Université de Montréal a travaillé extrêmement bien d'une façon avec beaucoup d'aptitude, beaucoup de compétences qu'on a vues sur ce point-là. C'était un point de maître en termes de patience et d'exécution. Vraiment, là, depuis la prise de disque jusqu'à ce point-là, ça a été des excellentes décisions. On voit là, que l'intensité est montée d'un cran. Et puis, on voit que ça va être un match extrêmement chaud. Seulement un point qui sépare les deux équipes et seulement 7 minutes qui restent au match.
Only 7 minutes left in the match. So right now, UDM on defense, looking for a break. They are down 11-10 with 7 minutes left. So what needs to happen essentially is they have to get a break quickly. They need 2 more breaks to win this match because even if they got one more break here, it'd do 11-11, and Queens would still have an opportunity to win. So, Chantal, we've been asking this question all game. What more does UDM need to do to push themselves over the edge here and get into the winner's column?
I think perhaps at this time, it's time to call lines and to really put players on that are feeling it, that are, not necessarily the best scoring players of the year or anything like this, but players that are really in this game right now, that are feeling the intensity, that want it now.
And you're seeing Denome, Beausoleil on some key players, but Queens also has their star players here. That was Pemard with a look to List, and we'll see what List can do. Back to Vujasic. Gauthier working hard at the front of the end zone, but defended. Oh my gosh! I don't know how Hubbard went down with that. There were 2 defenders. It looked like she wasn't open, but through focus and skill, Hubbard comes down with the goal.
Il y avait 2 défenseurs deux personnes en défensive sur cette numéro 23, Hubbard, et pourtant Hubbard est sorti avec le disque. C'est chaudement disputé. Chaque disque, chaque point chaudement disputé. Il n'est pas trop tard. L'Université de Montréal peut encore faire 3 points et gagner. Mais c'est sûr que pour Queens, c'était un point important.
Yes, and if you're UDM, like, you're probably just like, what more can we do? We're sending 2 people here into the end zone. We're pressuring the unders. But it seems like it's just Queens' day, them taking the lead 12-10. And they can probably just keep using the depth of the roster. You see how many of them converge when they score. There's so many of them compared to the smaller sideline of Université de Montréal. But still, we're going to see the same people on the line. We have, Beausoleil. It looks like Forrestal. The big throwers are on the field here. So UDM might be looking potentially to puck quickly.
Tout à fait. Je pense que l'UDM va peut-être essayer de faire un point rapide en faisant des longues potentiellement pour essayer de maintenir le temps, d'avoir le temps de faire 3 points pour gagner le match. C'est un excellent point que tu as fait aussi, Devon. Je vais le mentionner en français, que du côté de l'Université de Montréal, il y a environ 10 joueuses de moins que l'Université Queen's. Donc, c'est sûr que côté cardio, côté présence sur le terrain, ça peut faire une différence, le nombre de joueuses qui ont en moins. Alors, on a 83 Campo qui a le disque pour le recentrer. À Beau Soleil, qui fait un lancer dans le milieu, mais une excellente défensive de la part de 24 Leapy.
Yeah, that was a great
Leapy.
pressure from Leapy. Now Queen's looking. Oh my gosh! Oh, you know, we had Lyle just working really hard there to try to keep it in, but just unfortunately not going her way.
And super spirit from number 9 on Université de Montréal, who says to her, "That was a really good try."
Yeah.
Great spirit all around.
So UDM back on offense.
Oui, un beau lancer de Campo qui rejoint Saint-Jean dans le milieu du terrain avec un swing du côté pour Beau Soleil qui cherche parce que là, l'Université de Montréal sent que le chronomètre s'écoule. Belle interception du numéro 15 de Queens, Vujasic.
Yeah, now that's Queen's second D here. So Vujasic picking up the disc to none. Queens would love this upwind break right now.
Grosse défensive de Roy qui est très présente.
And no call here, but everyone's okay. Back to Beau Soleil.
Beau Soleil qui considère faire un swing à Forcel qui le lance long. Est-ce que ça va être lu par la receveuse? Je pense que ça a été attrapé par le vent, malheureusement, au lieu de par Campo, qui était en position quand même dans la zone de but.
Yep, and we have Lyle picking up the disc. It seems like it's been a fun matchup between her and Roy. Great spirit between the two of them. And a timeout called.
Oh, that's a strategic thing to do, given the number of minutes that are left. Why not? Take the time to think through your strategy and apply the play that is going to maintain this lead or increase it.
And I'm sure after an almost 75-minute match, their legs aren't as fresh as they were. So a couple turns in, take the timeout, take a breather, get some water, and be able to play like your best version of Ultimate.
Absolutely. And maybe Université de Montréal is going to appreciate that too, because they have a shorter bench. So
yeah, there's something in the Montreal waters here. Not big rosters. What's going on?
It's like I don't know. What could you say? Sometimes good things come in small packages.
Yes, you can say that. It seems like that six-hour drives from Montreal.
Yes,
it's a little too far to Brampton.
A little bit further. But we have teams coming from Manitoba. We have teams coming from very far for this tournament today.
Yeah, and I think so farthest west coast we have UVic in the open division. We'll be seeing them in Division 1 on stream tomorrow.
BC.
You can look forward to Devon on the commentary booth for that. And even all the way from the East Coast, we have Memorial from Newfoundland.
There you go.
Sending an open and a women's team here.
Yes. So we have teams coming from very far to be here.
Yes. Okay. So the disc has been checked in. Lyle swings it to Vujasic. The horn sounds to signify that this is the last point.
Défensive de la part de Lisotte. Et là, c'est la fin de ce point-ci va marquer la fin du match parce que le temps est écoulé. On voit un lancer créatif qui, par contre, n'a pas été complété.
Yeah, Beau Soleil just running out of options there, putting up a high stall throw. UDM still going to set the zone, but I think the sound of the horn just confirms that Queens has officially earned a bid to Division 1.
That's right.
So congratulations to the Paper Bag Princesses. That's their team name. They're not using the typical Gales for all the Queens teams.
Mais on souhaite quand même à l'Université de Montréal de faire une belle défensive, puis de se faire un petit cadeau, puis de faire le dernier point. Alors, on leur souhaite la grosse défensive. Beau Soleil.
Okay, so we have Lyle to Solly here. Solly working another backwards visor look. Her and List must be really good friends because I haven't seen this happen. Okay, we have Hubbard calling a foul on Roy.
Right.
And just having a little bit of a discussion here.
They're deciding whether that was a foul and whether they're going to agree to keep the call or contest it. Alors,
Okay, so it looks like Raw is not contesting. The stall count will go back down to 0 for Saint Jean on the mark. And
no, the count is coming in at
must be contested. 7.
8, 7.
8.
8.
In on 8. So she has 2 stalls to make a good choice.
Or any choice.
Or any choice. Be safe. Okay, we had number 17 Krozoli coming down with it. Sent to the Vujasic. Leap high with the disc just outside of their end zone. Queens would love to score this final point to officially send them to Division 1. Leap high putting up another creative throw here. Krozoli just it's not working out for her this time. So UDM back on offense.
L'Université de Montréal va avoir la chance de faire le dernier point du match. Lisa s'amène avec le 10 dans le milieu du end zone opposé. Une belle passe à Forstel, qui la repasse à Lisotte pour un beau swing à Campo. Quel beau frisbee. 42 Lisotte, qui dit à son équipe, non, trop loin. Beaucoup de communication.
And what a hand block from Lyle. Even after she's so excited, she's still telling her team to calm down. Oh, Vujasic did not hear that message. Takes a shot. Big D by Forstel from UDM. Again, this game has been exciting to the last point.
Ah oui. Forstel à Lisotte. Quelle concentration. Par Campo qui garde la possession. Campo qui l'envoie. Oh, un petit peu trop loin, mais on le sentait que les filles le souhaitaient, là. On sent qu'il y a peut-être un petit peu d'épuisement dans les jambes rendu à la fin du match comme ça.
Yes, beautiful throw, but I don't think her teammates wanted to had all the energy. And Vujasic trying the inside flick there, but just not working out. A little bit behind her teammate.
L'Université de Montréal, une formation verticale. Oh, belle présence d'esprit de la part de Saint-Jean qui l'attrape, qui cherche un lancer sécuritaire à Sénéchal. Dans le fond du end zone, on a Lisotte qui fait des grands mouvements de bras pour dire « Je suis toute seule du côté fermé », mais personne ne l'a vu malheureusement.
And I think what you may be seeing here is just, how tired some of these players are. And when you're tired, it's harder to make those good decisions because you're making decisions thinking, what can I do to run the least? And sometimes that's the throw, and not every teammate's on the same page. So we have Hubbard here at the front of the end zone. Vujasic working hard to get open, but a missed throw, and it looks like a foul was called. But it's going to be a play on.
Alors, l'Université de Montréal qui a un autre essai pour faire le dernier point du match. Campo qui ramasse, qui cherche. Non, elle fait signe que non, ça ne passera pas. Roy qui mange le disque. Un reset pour Beau Soleil. Un appel. Un appel de pique. L'équipe de Queens se rattrape. Beau Soleil étudie ses possibilités. Et puis, elle cherche à faire quelque chose de plus central à Lisotte. Lisotte cherche le côté fermé. Oh! Il a été touché par l'équipe de Queens, donc ça n'a pas eu la trajectoire qu'elle souhaitait.
And you saw Lizotte try to call that shot, try to tell her cutters where she wanted to go. Just didn't work out. Lyle back at the front of the end zone. Vujasic to Hubbard. Queens gaining some momentum, working their way up the field in this final point of the game. Hubbard upfield to Solly. Oh, great defense from Bosley, rejecting Vujasic from the thing, but still getting it up to Lepi. Lepi to Hubbard. They are just outside their end zone. So close. So close. Oh, and Vujasic just a little shake and bake. That is the final point of the game. Queens University Paper Bag Princesses winning 13-10, denying University de Montreal their first chance at Division I. But on the flip side, Queens gets to return to Division I and try to maybe improve on their finish from last year, coming in fourth and missing out on a medal. Chantal, any final thoughts of the
C'était
game?
un excellent match des deux équipes. Such a fantastic game by both teams. We were on edge the entire game. So, I mean, kudos to both teams. Les deux équipes n'ont rien à se reprocher. C'était un super match. L'Université de Montréal a bien joué. On a vu des stratégies innovantes avec un hexagone, avec une zone à 4 qui était vraiment performante. Des beaux lancers, des belles décisions. Finalement, le jeu s'est fini comme ça aujourd'hui, mais ce n'est que partie remise. C'est une équipe à surveiller décidément pour la Division 2, mais aussi pour les années à venir.
And just in case you were wondering about what's going on in the field complex, in the women's division, we have Guelph earning a bid after beating Western 14-9 in Pool A. Queens just beat University de Montréal 13-10 to go to Division 1. And McGill beating TMU 14-5 in Pool C to earn themselves. So your 3 Friday qualifiers from the women's division are Guelph, McGill, and Queens. And now on the open side, only 2 bids to Division 1 open today. So we had Montreal beat Carleton here on stream. And it looks like on the other side of the field, Sherbrooke just beat Guelph 13-10.
Wow.
So a great day for Quebec Frisbee, getting so many qualifiers into Division 1.
It has been a great day. So today was the qualifiers day. And so now we know all of the teams that are going to be in Division 1. And Saturday and Sunday, all the teams that will be streamed will be from that division. So the top 8 teams are going to fight to figure out who the top university is for Ultimate Frisbee in Canada. And that is what we're going to be covering on Saturday and Sunday, tomorrow and after tomorrow.
So exciting. This has been Devon Asimoda and
Chantal Dussault.
And have a great Friday evening. We will see you tomorrow.